want to let you know I tried. I tried so hard with this video, and things just weren't lining up, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll let you know at the specific points in which I try. Because it's ridiculous. Yeah, okay. So, first things, I got this bottle probably a few days ago because I had gotten a big, like, I don't know, 2 liter. I don't know, the big white Zinfandel things that we got in college. I got those. I got one of those for Thanksgiving, and me and my stepdad were gone the entire time. So I was like, oh, let me get one of these perfect ones, one of these smaller size ones for myself. Um, and when I came home, I was, oh, it's already a minute. God, okay, I'm going to try to make this a fast video. I'm sorry. Um, and when I got home, I was like, okay, let me not like take it out and then take it into my room and seem like that wino person, to the guy who like owns the place that I live, and that's also why I'm whispering right now because I'm sure he can hear me even though I'm only at this level. Um, the volume. It's like okay, so I waited till he was out of the kitchen, and I sneak into the kitchen. Lights are off, and then I get the wine. I'm fooling around trying to get the wine lid off, and he waltzes in, helps me with the wine lid. It was a twist off. I didn't know it was a twist off. And then I take half a second. I'm like, I could pour a glass and go into my room, or I could just take the bottle. At this point, I didn't give any fucks, so I took the bottle. Anyway, let me get to your video because I wrote notes. I took notes because I just rewatched it. It was great. I loved it. It was great. Okay, so and I'll try and make this quick so then I can talk about some other stuff. I'm double dipping right now, but I don't want like a 20-minute video. So yoga, right? Right? Isn't it good though? But I wanna just say my first yoga class experience was in a dingy dark room at like 9 p.m. with like sweaty college students in a gym in Southwest, and it was not your Mount Fuji extravaganza. I'm really pissed. I'm really pissed because that sounded like something I would pay a lot of money to do just once. Um, yes, and it sounds so much fun. I love the kind of idea of you and your coworkers hanging out. Like that just sounds like a really fun time of like you all going to do something and then chit chatting and then going for dinner after. My coworkers are boring. We don't. There would be no case in which my coworkers would invite me somewhere to go do anything. I am. I am not an everyday occurrence in like my field, my ness, but I'm not that interesting enough for them to be wanting to take me places, and really, they're not that interesting to be taking me places anyway. So, um, what did I say? If I can read my handwriting. Do, 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 do. Yes, can we talk about those money troubles? Yes, oh my god. So, I was so feeling you at that moment when you were like, oh my god, like, a Nick moment, like I can't pay this bill, and we just keep racking it up. But you didn't answer. Were you able to pay? Was that able to be done? Were you able to get out of there like scot free? Like, did they cover? Did you cover? Did you have enough money? I assumed from what you said you had enough money since it wasn't that big of a deal. Um, but yes, and I've definitely done. But for me, I don't go to the bathroom. Right? I just like check my phone on my Wells Fargo app and see how much money I have in my bank account, and then I go, okay, I can make it through this because I'm broke. um, da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. So when you said so I saw that Facebook message probably around the same time you were having dinner, and I was so upset. I was like, who is this bitch to just be flying across the fucking world to go to Tokyo? I thought it was like one of your Lombardi friends, honestly. And they just had all this money to throw in the world, and they just, yeah, how about I go and visit you in Tokyo? Mm. But now that you say it was a person in the Philippines doing stuff, I'm not. I feel less like, I feel a lot less 99%, you know? Just like, okay, I get it. You're local, it's cool. I would do the same thing. Um, uh, Da, 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 da. Oh, yes. And she tried you. Yes. I'm glad she did. She's trying to convert you, girl. Lucky she didn't take you to, like, Japanese Kento re education camp. like Shinto re education. Like, mm. Um, but I definitely yes, you definitely stayed behind the bamboo curtain when you were talking with your host family. That is definitely what you did, and I can I can vibe with having to do that because of my recent trip to Jamaica for my father's funeral and stuff like that. And there was one point during the service where um, okay, so let me lay out the service for you. So this is where I get more into like my story stuff. So I'm gonna fill that in. Um, where so the service kind of went, um, you know, this woman, she was kind of running things, I guess, like she was church person. So it was like a small church, no air conditioned church in Jamaica, right? With like this very obnoxious sound system. like like they had an organ and then also like an electric keyboard that was playing music along with it was two indie movie like if people of color made indie movies. Um that became famous anyway. Um as I just shut down like 50 indie movie artists. Okay, anyways. Um let's move on. So there was the yeah, so there was that, and then there were like random children performances from like I guess my father's girlfriend when he passed was like is an like elementary school teacher, but she is like so there's a lot of drama going on here, but I'll save that for something later. Just suffice to say, there was some very like child acting going on and blah 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 blah. The point I'm trying to get to was after like all our tributes, I wrote a letter. My mom had me read something for her, and my brother ad libbed, and everyone loved him because he mainly looks like my father, and so everyone was just like, "Oh my God, he's back, he's back." My sister was there, and we got to reconnect with her and all this stuff. But at the end, my laptop's dying. And yeah, all right, let's break into that. Here we go. So yeah, so at the end, this pastor, moved by the entire service about how generous and kind and amazing my father was, because he was like an amazing man. He was an amazing man. There are very few men like him in the world, very few. But he uh, he was just so moved with the spirit of the God, and he he spoke like like every word he'd just be like, and and even though we are here to see Richard, we must. Da, 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 and we can't, and, da, 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 and I was just like, and I'm sitting there like just shocked, and he was just going on and on. It was turning this very fire and brimstone and going to hell and this and that and of course the inevitable, the inevitable. Um, and what is the world coming to where men can marry men And of course I'm like, because I'm in the front row and like I'm definitely like if anyone had approached me about the topic, like I'm pretty sure everyone was being respectful, but if anyone ever approached me about the topic, I have already decided to lie out my teeth. Like I plan on accounting all very heteronormative kind of like talking about my past relationships as if they were heterosexual relationships and blah da 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 with people who I don't know. Because although my father was very fine with it and cool, um, Jamaica in general isn't. So it's like yeah, it's a thing that I recognize having to do. And really, yeah, right. It's none of their business. It's none of their business. It does make it hard though when I'm trying to develop a like relationship with people there, um, so I can still have that connection to Jamaica. My brother, it's a lot easier for him to do it, a lot easier because he's a lot more extroverted. Something I also realized during my trip was just how introverted I am. I really am. When I'm not around people that I'm comfortable with, that my friends and stuff, I am genuinely an introvert. Um, and and it really flares up when I'm having to be in the closet. Yeah, which is understandable considering I remember just around the time that I came out, I moved from this very quiet nerd type kid to a much more boisterous, energized, enthusiastic person. And I think that introvert inside of me definitely flares up and I retreat back into a kind of shell whenever I have to hide specifically that aspect of who I am. And maybe other aspects of who I am. But I haven't had that case yet. So there's not really much else I need to hide from people. Um, but yeah, let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. That's mine though. Oh, White Zinfandel. I'm not even sure if this is illegal. Is that illegal? Okay. Um, I know it's not professional. Um, um, yeah. So I love getting messages from you um, because they are always it, it makes me feel like I'm living this life with you. I am a fly on your wall and I'm living for it because my life here is boring. And I really try. I really, really try. It's just, it's just not where it needs to be. I was stalking my friend and obviously, I'm sure from the outside looking in, I'm definitely living an interesting year after college, and there are people who had worse situations, and I have avoided the worst situation. Um, but would I say I'm having the time of my life? I'm definitely not having the time of my life. I'm ready for the transition year to be done. Um, there's this really cool thing going on in Miami though called what is it? Oh, I don't know. It's some art thing. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Lauren told me about it. Really big art thing. I looked it up online in Miami. It's like held in Miami and Hong Kong and someplace in Europe, and those are the only three places it's held. And it is like this big, amazing thing. And Solange is curating one of the art things. There's all these different art things, and um, Twigs is doing a performance, but it all costs money, and I don't have money for it currently. So, and it's this weekend, but I don't think I'm going because as of right now, my bank account has less money than what I would need to get into it. So, no, I'm not going. But that would have been a cool thing to do. Um, and then, one thing I wanted to mention before I let you go, and my video is officially shorter than yours. Uh, I have recently started reading or listening to um, a I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Miss Maya Angelou. I know you have feelings about how the way she looks. Okay, you're just gonna have to put those aside. I'm telling you, it's good. No, I know you read the book, but I God, I really don't want to read this. I have really fallen in love with the audiobook of it. Just listening to her speak is just so, I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm friends with her because she's reading the audiobook, and so I'm getting these stories told to her, and she's such a good storyteller. It's just so good. So I know you already read the book, but if you ever want to revisit it, I suggest audiobook format. Okay? Okay. I'll see you. Please feel free to reply in text form. That's completely fine. Bye.